2022 marks 40 years of Peter Davison as the Doctor. To celebrate this, we got this 40, released by Big Finish for the love of stories. This is a set which sees this incarnation of the Doctor go back and forth through his own personal time stream, travelling with different versions of Tegan and Nyssa, along with Adric before his departure. This set of adventures was created as a love letter to the Fifth Doctor, and even Peter Davison as a whole. Actors who had worked with Peter Davison on other shows make guest appearances here, and it's great to hear them all reminisce about this in the BTS section of this release. There are two stories on offer here: Secrets of Telos, which features Cybermen, and God of War, not the video game, which features Ice Warriors. The first story is 4 parts and the second is 2 parts. The artwork, which has been done by Ryan Aplin for this release, is absolutely marvellous. It's very striking in all its imagery, and I like how we have the Fifth Doctor taking centre stage, seeing as these sets are all about the Fifth Doctor and celebrating his time. And we also have a lot of other striking imagery, like the snowy setting of God of War, along with the jungle theme setting, which you see throughout Secrets of Telos. We also have the usage of Ice Lord, Ice Warrior, and the Cybermen as featured on Telos, along with the Fifth Doctor's companions. We also have the cast list at the top of this, along with the guest cast list just underneath the title of this set, which of course uses the Jodie Whittaker version of the Doctor Who logo. Turning this around, looking at the spine, looks very nice, especially alongside all the rest of the sets which you may have picked up throughout 2022, regardless of what Doctor that may be. The back of the box is very handy, as it gives us a rough synopsis of what this set is all about, as well as telling us the titles of the stories and who wrote them, and of course who directed this set. We have another image of the front cover there. The top is very simple, it just says Doctor Who 40, and then at the bottom it just gives you your legal stuff. You of course have the main content inside, and this set features 3 discs. So we have 2 discs which centre on the Secrets of Telos, and we have the 3rd disc which features God of War. And if I just pop disc 1 out, you can see there's, as ever, advertisements for other stories in the Fifth Doctor range. So we have The Lost Resort and other stories. And then here we have the leaflet, so I'll just give you a quick look at this leaflet. Again, you have the front cover artwork, which is amazing. You also have a image from behind the scenes, so there is Peter Davison in his excellent sound booth. You have synopses of the actual stories in this set, which is very handy. And we just have some more production information, as well as your cast lists for the 2 stories. So very simple booklet, but it is what you expect with Big Finish these days, which is very handy. One thing which I don't like about this is this disc always falls out whenever I open this set, which is very annoying. If I just pull out the 3rd disc, we have an advertisement for Wicked Sisters. 40 is a bit of a mixed bag as far as the stories go, but that's not to say that it's a disaster. The set somewhat achieves its ambition of celebrating 40 years of the Fifth Doctor, with numerous references to key moments from his era thrown in. Every single member of the cast is brilliant, with Peter Davison portraying a vulnerable Fifth Doctor as he is thrown here, there and everywhere through his own time stream. This is where the set shines. Secrets of Telos sounds so exciting on paper, and halfway through I would have said so. It starts off so well, and plays out like a Base Under Siege type of tale. However, once we get into the second half of this story, I feel that the change in setting from a spaceship to a jungle planet let this down slightly, and I felt that the pacing was slightly off. Even for a 4-parter, Matt Fitton really delivered when it came to the use of the Cybermen. Well, in the first half anyway. Nicholas Briggs captures that early era of cyber voice perfectly yet again. The story acts as a sequel to The Tomb of the Cybermen, as that story is referenced very heavily in this. So if you've not watched The Tomb of the Cybermen, then there's no real point in listening to this. Christopher Timothy even plays Professor Parry, a character who appeared in that very story. As much as I love the nods to the past in this one, it was never going to live up to being a successor to Tomb. Secrets of Telos does not hold a candle to other Fifth Doctor Cybermen audios like Spare Parts. At best, it is run-of-the-mill, but the cast are enjoyable. I particularly like the character moments between the Doctor and his companions, as he gets a little insight to his own future. God of War by Sarah Gacella also feels like a run-of-the-mill story somehow. I don't know how, because this is only 2 parts. Having gone back through his own timeline, he, Nyssa, Tegan and Adric end up in the 9th century in Iceland. They encounter Vikings, and guess what? The Ice Warriors show up, because it's Iceland and Ice Warriors. Yeah, you know, sounds interesting on paper, given the historical setting and all, but I found this dull. The best thing I can say about this is it feels like a story which fits perfectly into Peter's first season, given that he has his original TARDIS team to interact with here, and I really love the interactions between him and Adric here. They provide the best moments out of this story. The Ice Warriors just feel wasted in this one, which is a shame, given that I feel that this is a race which is one of the more interesting ones when it comes to all the other Doctor Who monsters that we've had. Here they just feel like, yeah, it's just another race of lumbering monsters. 40 contains 2 stories which I think will not go down as all-time classics anytime soon. However, it provides a great relief to those, including myself, who are big fans of the Fifth Doctor era. At the end of the day, it is a celebration. The overarching theme of the Doctor being flung across his own personal timeline is what sells this for me. The set doesn't really give you the reason why this happens though. Enter 42, the set which contains the answer to all life in the universe.